First contact. The crystalline spires of the Galactic hegemony's capital city pierced the violet sky like frozen lightning. Within the highest tower, Emperor Vex stood before a wall of monitors, his 6 arms clasped behind his elongated torso. His compound eyes reflected the images of countless star systems under his dominion. Scout Commander Zelix reporting, "Your Eminence," came a voice through the quantum communicator. The Emperor's antennae twitched with mild interest. "Proceed, Commander." "We've discovered a new inhabited world in Sector 94. The locals call it Earth. Initial scans indicate a Class 7 civilization, barely capable of reaching their own satellite." Emperor Vex's mandibles clicked dismissively. "Another primitive world. Standard protocol. Offer them protectorate status or prepare them for integration." "Yes, Your Eminence." Though Zelix hesitated. "Speak freely, Commander." They've shown unusual radioactivity, multiple languages, constant communication across their planet. It's chaotic, but organized chaos. The Emperor waved 2 of his upper arms. "Irrelevant. Prepare the integration fleet. I'll oversee this personally." 3 cycles later, the hegemony's integration fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system. 50 warships arranged in perfect formation, their biometallic hulls shimmering with energy shields that could withstand supernovas. On the command bridge of the flagship Supremacy, Emperor Vex settled into his throne. Around him, officers from a dozen species worked at their stations. "Status report," the Emperor commanded. Admiral Krex, a reptilian saurian, stepped forward. "The humans have detected our arrival. They're attempting to communicate." "Put it through the translator." Static filled the air, then resolved into words. "Unknown vessels, this is Earth Space Command. You have entered the Sol system. Please state your intentions." Emperor Vex's compound eyes narrowed. The voice sounded surprisingly calm for a species facing 50 alien warships. "This is Emperor Vex of the Galactic hegemony," he responded. "Your world has been selected for integration into our empire. Surrender peacefully, and you will be granted protectorate status." A pause. Then a different voice, female and firm. "This is Commander Sarah Chen, Earth Defense Force. We appreciate your offer, but Earth maintains a policy of independence. We're happy to establish diplomatic relations." Admiral Krex snorted. "Shall I demonstrate our firepower, Your Eminence? A small asteroid should suffice." The Emperor raised a hand. "Not yet. I'm curious about these humans. Commander Chen, your technology cannot hope to match ours. We offer advancement, protection, prosperity." "We offer friendship," Chen replied, "but not submission." The bridge fell silent. No species had ever refused integration so calmly. "Admiral," the Emperor said slowly, "scan their defensive capabilities again." "Minimal, Your Eminence. A few orbital platforms. Primitive nuclear weapons. Basic spacecraft powered by chemical rockets." "Then why?" the Emperor mused. "Do they show no fear?" Before anyone could answer, every alarm on the bridge screamed simultaneously. Officers scrambled at their stations, tentacles and claws flying over control panels. "What's happening?" the Emperor demanded. "Something's emerging from behind our moon," reported the sensor officer, his voice shaking. "It's impossible." On the main view screen, space itself seemed to ripple. Then, like a predator emerging from shadows, a ship appeared. But calling it merely a ship seemed inadequate. The human vessel was massive, nearly as large as the Supremacy. Its design defied every principle of hegemony shipbuilding. Where alien ships were smooth and organic, this was angular and mechanical. Where they were elegant, this was brutal. It bristled with weapons ports, sensor arrays, and thick armor plating that seemed to absorb light itself. "How did we not detect it?" Admiral Krex whispered. "Because it wasn't there," the sensor officer replied, his 3 eyes wide. "It just appeared." The Emperor stood slowly, all 6 arms spreading in disbelief. That's impossible. No species hides technology of this level. Our scouts saw what we wanted them to see, came Commander Chen's voice again. Meet the Phoenix Rising, humanity's first true warship. We've been preparing for this day for quite some time. The bridge erupted in chaos. Officers shouted readings that made no sense, power levels that shouldn't exist, weapon signatures that defied physics, shielding technology that seemed to bend space-time itself. Your Eminence, the science officer stammered. Their power source. It's not fusion, not antimatter. It's something we've never seen. Emperor Vex felt something he hadn't experienced in centuries. Uncertainty. Commander Chen, explain this deception. A new voice answered, deep and resonant. This is Admiral Marcus Stone, commanding the Phoenix Rising. There's no deception, Emperor. We simply chose not to advertise our capabilities. You see, humanity has been watching the stars for a very long time. We knew we weren't alone, and we knew that when we finally met others, we needed to be ready. The Emperor's antennae drooped. But your technology, 3 months ago, you could barely reach your moon. 3 months ago, you thought we could barely reach our moon, Admiral Stone corrected. There's a difference. We've had spaceflight capability for over a century. We just kept it discreet. Impossible, Admiral Krex snarled. Our scouts would have detected. Your scouts detected what we wanted them to detect. Stone interrupted. Chemical rockets launching from visible sites. Meanwhile, our real fleet was being built in facilities you never thought to look for. Hidden in asteroid belts, buried under ocean floors, disguised as natural formations. The Emperor sank back into his throne. Why? Why hide such advancement? Because we studied history, Commander Chen answered. Every time a technologically superior civilization meets an inferior one, the result is predictable. Conquest, assimilation, cultural destruction. We decided to appear weak while we prepared. Prepared for what? The Emperor asked, though he suspected he knew. For this moment, Admiral Stone said. The moment when someone would arrive at our doorstep and demand our surrender. We prepared to say no. The Phoenix Rising drifted closer, and the hegemony sensors went wild. The human ship's weapons were charging, but not targeting anything. It was a display, controlled, measured, but undeniably powerful. Your Eminence, whispered the tactical officer, their weapons. The energy signatures matched theoretical models our scientists deemed impossible. Contained singularity projectors, quantum phase cannons, things that shouldn't exist. Emperor Vex's compound eyes focused on the human warship. Everything the hegemony had believed about technological development, about the predictable progression of civilizations, was crumbling before him. Emperor Vex, Admiral Stone's voice was calm but firm. Humanity extends its hand in friendship. We have no desire for conflict. But make no mistake, we will defend our independence. The question is, how do you wish to proceed? The bridge of the supremacy fell silent. For the first time in his 1,000-year reign, Emperor Vex faced a species that had not only matched the hegemony's technology, but had done so through deception born of wisdom, not fear. The galaxy would never be the same. The impossible ship. Emperor Vex stood motionless for what seemed like an eternity, his compound eyes fixed on the impossible human warship. Around him, the bridge crew of the Supremacy waited in tense silence, their various appendages frozen over control panels. Full tactical analysis, the Emperor finally commanded, his voice barely above a whisper. The ship's quantum computers worked frantically, but the results only deepened the mystery. Chief Science Officer Quinn, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline shell, pulsed with agitation. Your Eminence, the readings are contradictory. Their hull material appears to be simple iron-carbon alloy, yet it's exhibiting properties we associate with exotic matter. Their power signatures suggest they're using what looks like primitive nuclear fusion, but the output levels. Emperor Vex prompted. They exceed our most advanced antimatter reactors by a factor of 10. A collective gasp echoed through the bridge. Admiral Krex's scales shifted to a deep purple, the saurian expression of shock. Request permission to come aboard. Admiral Stone's voice cut through their confusion. I believe a face-to-face meeting would be beneficial. Emperor Vex's advisors immediately protested. It could be a trap. The security risk. Protocol demands. The Emperor silenced them with a gesture. Grant permission. If they wanted to destroy us, they apparently could have done so already. 20 minutes later, Admiral Marcus Stone materialized in the Supremacy's diplomatic chamber. The hegemony's teleportation interceptors activated instantly, but found nothing to intercept. The human hadn't used any recognizable transport technology. Stone stood about 2 meters tall, his dark skin contrasting with a crisp white uniform. He carried no visible weapons, no protective gear. His calm demeanor suggested either supreme confidence or supreme foolishness. Emperor Vex entered the chamber, flanked by his elite guards. Up close, the human seemed remarkably unremarkable. Bictal, bilateral symmetry, no natural weapons or armor. Yet something about his presence commanded attention. Admiral Stone, the Emperor began, settling onto his ceremonial throne. Your ship defies our understanding of physics. Explain. Stone smiled. May I? He gestured to a spot near the room's holographic projector. The Emperor nodded. Stone placed a small device on the projector. Immediately, the air filled with equations, diagrams, and molecular structures. Your confusion stems from a fundamental assumption. Stone began. You've always approached technology through the lens of energy manipulation. More power, more refined control, more efficient systems. The logical path, Emperor Vex agreed. One logical path, Stone corrected. Humanity took a different road. We focused on understanding matter itself, not just controlling it, but fundamentally altering its properties. The holograms shifted, showing atomic structures morphing in impossible ways. Your scientists abandoned material science centuries ago. Stone continued. You developed energy fields to contain antimatter, force fields for defense, energy weapons for offense. Elegant solutions. And you, the Emperor prompted. We developed materials that don't need containment fields because they contain themselves. Armor that doesn't need shields because it exists partially outside normal spacetime. Weapons that don't project energy, but alter the fundamental constants of reality in localized areas. Chief Science Officer Quinn pulsed rapidly. That's theoretically impossible. The energy requirements alone would be enormous if you approached it from an energy perspective. Stone interrupted. But we don't add energy to matter. We convince matter it already has different properties. The Emperor leaned forward, all 6 arms gesturing. Convince matter. Stone's smile widened. Quantum consciousness field manipulation. We discovered that at the quantum level, observation affects reality. So we created materials that observe themselves differently. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. The hegemony had spent millennia perfecting energy manipulation, while humans had been quietly rewriting the rules of matter itself. Show me, Emperor Vex commanded. Stone pulled out what looked like an ordinary piece of metal. Watch carefully. He placed the metal on the table and whispered something to it. The metal began to glow, then lifted off the table, hovering in midair. As they watched, it shifted through various states, liquid, gas, plasma, before solidifying into a perfect sphere that reflected images of distant galaxies. Programmable matter, Stone explained. It remembers different states of existence and can shift between them at will. Admiral Krex stepped forward. This is why we couldn't detect your true capabilities. Your advanced technology looks primitive to our sensors because it's not based on energy signatures we recognize. Exactly, Stone confirmed. Your scouts saw chemical rockets because that's what our ships looked like to your sensors. The Phoenix Rising appears to be made of simple steel because your instruments can't comprehend matter that exists in quantum superposition. Emperor Vex stood slowly. You've been playing a very long game, Admiral. We had to. Stone replied, his expression growing serious. We've studied galactic history. Every time you've encountered a new species, you've either absorbed them or destroyed them. We needed to ensure humanity's survival. And now we offer partnership. True partnership. Our approaches to technology are completely different, but potentially complementary. Imagine what we could achieve together. The Emperor's compound eyes studied the human carefully. You would share this technology. Selected aspects, with the right agreements in place. Humanity values its independence, but we also value cooperation. We're not interested in conquest, Emperor. We're interested in exploration, in understanding, in pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Before the Emperor could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. His tactical officer's voice crackled through the communicator. Your Eminence, detecting massive energy surge from the human vessel. Stone raised a hand calmly. Don't worry. That's just a demonstration I arrange. The view screen activated, showing the Phoenix Rising. The human warship was transforming. Its angular hull flowed like liquid, reconfiguring into different shapes. A sphere, a ring, a structure that seemed to exist in more than 3 dimensions. Our ships aren't built, Stone explained. They're grown. They can adapt their form to meet any challenge. The Phoenix Rising settled back into its original configuration, but now it bristled with weapon systems that hadn't been visible before. Those weapons, Emperor Vex noted, they could destroy entire fleets. They could, Stone agreed, but they haven't. And they won't, unless we're forced to defend ourselves. That's not who we are. The Emperor returned to his throne, his mind racing. For millennia, the hegemony had expanded through technological superiority. Now they faced a species that had surpassed them not through aggression, but through patience and ingenuity. Your proposal, the Emperor said finally. Elaborate. Stone deactivated the holographic display. Joint exploration missions, technology exchange programs, mutual defense agreements. The galaxy is vast, Emperor, and there are almost certainly other civilizations out there. Some may not be as interested in peaceful coexistence as humanity. You know of others. We suspect. Our deep space monitors have detected anomalies that suggest we're not the only ones who've learned to hide our true capabilities. Emperor Vex's antennae twitched, a sign of deep thought among his species. The human's words carried disturbing implications. If humanity had hidden its true nature, who else might be doing the same? I need to consult with the High Council, the Emperor said finally. Of course. Take your time. We'll maintain position here. Stone paused. Oh, and Emperor, you might want to recalibrate your sensors to detect quantum phase variations. You'll be surprised what you've been missing. As Admiral Stone dematerialized, again using no detectable technology, Emperor Vex found himself staring at the space where the human had stood. Your orders, Eminence? Admiral Krex asked. Stand down all weapons, open full diplomatic channels, and the Emperor paused, his compound eyes reflecting the image of the Phoenix Rising on the view screen. Begin immediate review of all our assumptions about technological development. It seems we have much to learn. In the space around Earth, 50 hegemony warships powered down their weapons. Aboard the Phoenix Rising, Admiral Stone smiled as he watched the tactical display. Sir, his communications officer reported, we're receiving a formal diplomatic packet from the hegemony. They're actually interested in talking. Good, Stone replied, settling into his command chair. Humanity's real journey is just beginning. Contact Earth Command. Tell them First Contact Protocol is a success. The galaxy just got a lot more interesting. As the two fleets faced each other in the void, neither firing nor retreating, a new chapter in galactic history began. For the first time, The galactic hegemony had encountered a species that had matched them not through conquest, but through preparation, patience, and the wisdom to hide strength behind apparent weakness. And in that moment, both humanity and the hegemony realized the same truth. The universe was far more complex, mysterious, and full of possibilities than either had dared imagine. The stars watched silently as two civilizations, each believing they understood the cosmos, began to discover how much they still had to learn.